Brock Purdy is surrounded by the Offensive Player of the Year and the best left tackle in the league who protects his blind side on every pass play. Yet people still consider him underrated. However, I'm here to tell you that if the 49ers sign Brock Purdy to a Megadeal in the 2025 offseason, they will never win a Super Bowl in the coming years. First off, what is a megadeal? Well, by definition, a megadeal is any deal that provides $50 million or more. Let's take a look at the 4 current quarterbacks who have a megadeal. At number 4, there's Jalen Hurts, $51 million per year. At number 3, Lamar Jackson, making $52 million per year. Number 2, Justin Herbert at $52.5 million per year. And at number 1, Joe Burrow, making $55 million per year. It's safe to say that all 4 of these quarterbacks can take over a game at any moment, unlike Brock Purdy. Now don't get me wrong, Purdy is extremely skilled, but so are many other quarterbacks in the league who are not on megadeals. Could you imagine Brock Purdy receiving $50 million plus and being paid more than the following quarterbacks? Patrick Mahomes at $45 million, Josh Allen at $43 million, Dak Prescott at $40 million. Trevor Lawrence right now is at $9 million, but he's expected to receive a megadeal or close to a megadeal in 2025. Do you think Brock Purdy is better than these quarterbacks? Comment below if you do. I think every NFL fan can agree Mahomes and Allen are in a different tier than Purdy, but there is room for argument with Dak Prescott and Trevor Lawrence. However, both these quarterbacks and all the other quarterbacks previously mentioned aren't surrounded by 4 potential Hall of Famers. Wide receiver Deebo Samuels, which I know is a stretch, tight end George Kittle, running back Christian McCaffrey, and lastly, the best player on the 49ers, left tackle Trent Williams, who is considered the best offensive lineman in the league. In other words, Brock Purdy has the best offensive lineman protecting his blind side on every pass play. Imagine if Joe Burrow or Patrick Mahomes had Trent Williams. That just would be way too unfair. Another argument many people bring to the table is his unbelievable accuracy and efficiency. And they are correct, he does have insane accuracy, but so do many other quarterbacks. Did anyone see Jared Goff this year, absolutely threading the needle? Put him on the 49ers and they'll be in the exact same position they are right now. But no one considers Goff a top 10 quarterback, and the idea of him getting a megadeal would be considered ludicrous. Aside from statistics and wins, there are far more criteria to judge a quarterback's greatness. One of those criteria is their role in the offense. Are they a game manager or a field general? Well, after watching Purdy these last 2 years, it's safe to say he's a game manager, but a great one to say the least. Take a look at the games this year when he had to step up because key players were absent. Notice the 49ers went on a 3-game losing streak right when their star wide receiver Deebo Samuel and left tackle Trent Williams were both out. Brock still had plenty of weapons in those games, but the roster without those 2 players gave a glimpse into how Purdy would perform with a mediocre performing cast. Aside from all this, let's look at an example of 2 football greats, one who took less money and one who did not. The first is Tom Brady, who throughout his years in New England consistently took a discount on every contract. Why? Because he knew the best chance he had of winning was to build a strong team around him, and he wasn't going to let greed get in the way of his legendary career. Brady ended up appearing in 10 Super Bowls and winning 7 of them. He won more Super Bowls than every NFL franchise. Think about that for a second. On the other hand, you have Peyton Manning, who arguably was more skilled than Brady, but he never took a discount on his contract in Indianapolis. That team only won 1 Super Bowl, despite being a top 3 favorite in every single year. Why did this happen? You can say the primary reason was the cap. The 49ers want to avoid this. They know that if they sign Purdy to a megadeal, they will be restricting themselves, and they won't be able to continue building this super team around him. So I can confidently say that the 49ers won't sign him to a $50 million plus, and Purdy will never be a top 5 highest paid quarterback as long as he's a 49er. The big question is, when 2025 rolls around, will a team be desperate enough to offer Purdy a megadeal? If that does happen, that team could easily be set back another 10 to 20 years. Having Purdy as the 49ers quarterback levels the playing field. If any of those quarterbacks who currently have megadeals were on the 49ers, that team would be considered a super team, similar to the Golden State Warriors with Kevin Durant. I think many people know how talented the 49ers roster is, but what I don't get is how can someone say the roster is the best in the league and Purdy is underrated at the same time? That makes no sense. Why? Because if Purdy were a top 5 or even a top 10 quarterback on the best roster, they wouldn't have gone 12-4 in their first 16 games. They would have been in the running to have a perfect season. I mean, Purdy literally lost to PJ Walker. You think Mahomes, Burrow, Herbert, or Lamar are losing that game? But again, that was only the regular season, and even the greats sometimes slip up. Brock Purdy is not the system, unlike many quarterbacks in this league. He enhances the system. But if Brock Purdy wants to be paid like a top 5 quarterback, the 49ers have made it clear they will look elsewhere for another quarterback to enhance the system. Purdy is not the type of player where you can't win without him. There are many other quarterbacks who are exactly that. If Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, Trevor Lawrence, or Dak Prescott went down, the season for that team would be a wrap. They would have no chance in the playoffs. The same cannot be said for the 49ers. They will always be considered to win any game just because of their roster, not including the quarterback. This is why the 49ers system is so special. Unlike any other team in the league, they don't rely on any one player, whereas for every other team, if that one player goes down, the season is over. They won't risk the system they've been building for the last 7 years by paying Brock Purdy a megadeal. All of their hard work would be for nothing. But then again, who knows what will happen in the next year?